hope to continue their expedition through this competition on a half gangrenous-looking, half icing sugar-coated pitch, cleared by a 150-strong army of volunteers. I doubt it would have been past fit at home. But Chelsea should certainly freeze out this Tromsø club of part-timers, a team of students, a journalist in Steiner Nilsen who joined...
Chelsea are not playing the customary 5-3-2 formation, but will probably revert to a 4-4-2 with Newton occupying the holding role in front of the back four. Clearly, the European experience of the Italian contingent will be vital, as will concentration defence, particularly in the opening 20 minutes.
We had brushes, we had diggers, and we had little local kids clearing the pitch, so that Jacek Granat, the referee, would be happy in time for kickoff. And he checked with the UEFA observer Anders Madsen and Jürgen Feiner of Hamburg, and we were okay to kick off with Chelsea in the lemon yellow, the away strip, so desperate to get this match played. If it goes through and finishes, all goes well. If it is delayed by another snowstorm, and we hope it doesn't happen, then we might have to come back tomorrow at 5 to finish it off. Chelsea immediately looking for Danny Granville, hero of the home leg in the last round against Slovan Bratislava. On by Dennis Wise, just serving a suspension at home. On the left-hand side of the Tromsø side, Frode Fermann will get forward and cut in from that side onto his right foot. The pitch is very treacherous and very unpredictable. In some places it's rock hard, and here where Zola is, it's mushy. Up goes the home keeper, Tor Andre Grenissen, the computer engineer for the local telephone company. He's been monitoring telephone calls at home, no doubt, just to make sure Chelsea aren't picking up too many secrets. Here's the captain, the left fullback, Morten Kramer. Frank Leboeuf was pulled in the air. They play with an orthodox 4-4-2, and that's Rua Christensen, who they describe as a midfield dog of war here. Good to see Eddie Newton back in the Chelsea side after his injury problems. His goal cemented victory at Wembley that took Chelsea to the European Cup Winners' Cup. Steve Clark, recently back in the side. Di Matteo, hero of Europe so far. Fermann blocks. Dennis Wise. We must get this game played, he said. Chelsea have to go to Bolton for that important Premiership match on Sunday. How that one was picked out of the fixture computer, I don't know. They were supposed to get home ties after European travel, like the rest of the Premier clubs in Europe. Here's Fermann. Handle though. Frode Fermann, wearing number 10, 22. He's one of the students in the side. It's the newest and most northerly of universities in Norway, and they train twice a day there. So just the fact they're students, don't think they're not fit. Here's Frank Leboeuf. What a screaming goal he scored at the weekend. Captain. Frode Fermann again. Very orthodox, Tromsø. They'll look to get the ball long up to the front men. When they play it out from the back, as Paul was saying earlier, they'll look for the fullbacks to hoist in the diagonal balls. And Fermann will take the free kick himself. He's recently gone back to his student studies. Actually had a year as a full-time professional with the Cercle Club in Bruges. Good header away by Dennis Wise, Zola and Di Matteo. Di Matteo, used to playing with snow on the ground, originally from Schaffhausen in Switzerland. He started his football career there. Steve Clark. Granville. Clark again. Strange to see the orange ball. Never looks as if the orange ball rolls properly, Paul, but certainly it does.
Yes, and he looks like he's like a balloon with a load of water in as well, doesn't he?
That's Vialli's little flick-off. Cleared away by Steiner Nilsen, the man who's going to AC Milan at the end of this season. On a trial basis, first of all, Bjorn Johansson seeks the forward. Now here's Christensen, and onside, and danger for Chelsea. Great stop by Ed de Hoy. back as Tromsø looked for Ole Morten Årst, their top scorer, and he should have buried it.
Yes, he should. It was a guilty opportunity. Wonderful build-up play. Looks up wide, delivers it in the circle. He's even got time to take a first touch and forfeit it to De Goey. He comes out quickly at his feet.
Super save by Ed De Goey, yet really to firmly win over the Chelsea supporters despite 7 clean sheets in his first 12 games for the club. He's a fine shot stopper. That's the other of the two forwards being felled, Rune Lange. He scored the winning goal here in the last round, 5 minutes from the end of extra time against Enkre Zagreb. They won 4-2. It's the first time they've been ahead in the tie. A tie that saw 11 goals and some wretched defending. Steinar Nilsen. Leboeuf away. Nilsen again. Rogar, his brother, Sheffield United. Off and running after it is Fermann. And the foul given against Dennis Wise. Capacity crowd here, 4,700 this season for European ties. The average here in the league, 3,189. And they'll whip this in for Årst, who's on the penalty spot there, the right-hand side of your picture, or lay it square. Nilsen normally has a crack, and he scores! And Chelsea behind on just 5 minutes. And that is why AC Milan are looking at Steinar Nilsen. 1-0 to Tromsø, and what a nightmarish start for Chelsea.
That's a sensational strike. Clearly it's rolled to Nilsen, and to Dennis Wise's credit, he tries to get as close as possible to block it, but clearly it was an exceptional shot. A terrible start for Chelsea.
Steinar Nilsen, 5 goals in the league this season, and that was a real bullet. And he knows Milan are watching him in every single game. He may even get to write about that one. He's a journalist in the local paper here. Part-time. And heading for the big time. What a shock for Chelsea. Now Dennis Wise, who was at least aware of the danger of Nilsen. Zola. The locals very surprised here that Tor André Flo wasn't in the Chelsea starting lineup. They haven't got a great deal of height at the centre of their defence, and they worried about him. And Chelsea are under the cosh. Leboeuf. Under pressure from Rune Lange. I don't think you could fault Ed De Goey at all, Paul.
No, I mean, it was a sensational strike, wasn't it? All from probably 25 yards, and there was a lot of bodies in front of him, and credit has really got to go to Nilsen.
Granville may well have been clipped by Årst. Steve Clark, been around a long, long time, nearly 400 games for the club. Leboeuf looks for Celestine Babayaro. Nilsen away, the goal scorer. Wise. Here against Enkre Zagreb. Zagreb played them off the pitch, really, technically. Here's Vialli to Zola. Zola was checked. The Polish referee didn't notice it. Jacek Granet. They've got 2 big juggernauts up front, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, that's a clear pattern of play. They want to hit the big men early and get midfield players supporting, but I feel Chelsea, Jonathan, they're passing, they're probing, trying to change the play. They've just got to get the ball forward a lot more quicker and get the midfield men supporting their front too as well.
Babayaro, so highly thought at Chelsea, dragged down. The offender was Svein Morten Johansson, another one of the students in this side. He scored the one of the important goals in the last round to take them to extra time. Zola to take the free kick for Chelsea in his favourite spot for them, in a sand pit tonight though. That's a dreadful patch down there where he took the free kick from. About 4 inches of sand. And that is a problem, Paul. You know, it's not so much the temperature, the wind has dropped. We may have snow later. It's the inconsistency of this pitch.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, I inspected it before the game, Jonathan, and that side where Zola took it, I mean, it was disgraceful, and I'm being generously polite.
Gangrenous, I called it earlier on. Eddie Newton. What a night perhaps to play with your back to goal and get it in a situation like that.
That's the pass I was talking about, John, from when they're trying to play through midfield. He was closely marked there, Newton, and that's the ball really, I think, can go to the front man, and then Newton can spin and join and link up.
Hansen will take the free kick. Johnny Hansen. Vialli was the man who gave it away. He's the main man for Europe, Gullit has been saying all season, Vialli. Here's his compatriot, Di Matteo. Leboeuf. Clark. Stick in patches the ball, it'll zip in other patches. Babayaro. Oh, and Granville, misunderstanding. Clark. Now by Christensen. Now Årst. Seeking Rune Lange. McCoy, as you can ill afford mistakes as well now that Dimitri Farin is back. Here's Årst, good challenge, Steve Clark. Zola dropping deep. Babayaro, the Nigerian teenager. Granville. Frank Sinclair. He's been playing at right fullback most of the season. 12 years at the club. Not one of the best balls in his time, that. Clark. And Sinclair will have a second chance. Tromsø actually face a crucial weekend in their history. They were promoted in 1985, and this weekend they face a relegation playoff against EIK of Tonsbergs over 2 legs. Big weekend of football in Norway. One of the other reasons this game could not be played in Oslo is that the cup final is there this Sunday between Vålerenga and Strømgodset, who you may remember Liverpool beat many years ago by 11 goals to 0. In the 70s that was. Vialli was pushed by Svein Morten Johansen. Leboeuf stepping out as he loves to do. Seeks Vialli. Johansen away. Robin Benson, who's a sales rep with a local food company. Now Lange. Poor ball. Problem once for him that Bjorn Johansen checked his run. Oh dear. He's dancing. Sinclair. And the mush on the pitch held that up for him. There's Di Matteo. 2 in the middle. Zola took a cannon. Nilsen away. A few weeks ahead for Steinar Nilsen, the 25-year-old former under-21 international, and scorer of the goal that separates the sides. Looks for Vialli. It's Di Matteo. A little nudge from Celestine Babayaro. Twice Belgian Footballer of the Year, Babayaro. Tor André Grennesen is the 28-year-old first-choice goalkeeper. Been in for more than 10 years. Christensen. To the captain, Fermann. Wise. Tackling there with the local hero, Bjorn Johansen. He's the man that Chelsea feared a wee bit. Vialli just dummied it. Was there contact? The referee was right there. The other to communicate with the players. Jacek Granat, the referee. He speaks very good English. Robin Benson. And Lange couldn't hold it up. Granville. Out of play. It's a great level of the pitch. They said it before the game, Chelsea, they were worried about it. I mean, let me tell you that Tromsø only ever won one European Cup tie in their history, and it came against Zagreb in the previous round. And Chelsea were very, very concerned about the levelling factor of this pitch. Christensen. Wise, fouled as he turned. Unhappy with the treatment dished out by Christensen. Just got too tight on Dennis Wise there.
Yes, he did, and a few months ago he put another tackle into Dennis. I mean, they're fiercely competitive in midfield. Clearly they're working hard to stop Chelsea from playing.
Captain heads it away. Morten came out. Saw it coming through the Arctic skies. The bench for the home side occupied by Håkan Sandberg, who'll be delighted with the performance of his side so far. The home coach here is Frank Sinclair. Oh, it came through. Newton's made the run. Vialli. Zola dropped deep. That created the space, perhaps. Babayaro. Granville arriving. Just scooted away from him. There you are. That's what we're talking about. One end, it's like shredded wheat that's been left in the bowl too long in the milk, the pitch. And then at the other end, it's like an ice skating rink.
Yes, and it's so unpredictable, the pitch as well, Jonathan. Clearly, it was a good approach by Chelsea, but the ball, in normal circumstances, would have been there for the cross inside the box, but unfortunately ran out of play.
Quarter of an hour gone. 1-0 to Tromsø. Good challenge by Granville. Now Zola. Granville's outside him. Took a nice little flick to him. Matteo's attacking the far side of the penalty area, and Newton plops it back in. Away by Nilsen, Christensen and Årst. Neatly played back to him. Now he finds Frode Fermann. Away from Europe, Chelsea have had their problems over the years. They've lost 8 of their 24 European ties, but they've never lost back at the Bridge. So the captain will take this free kick. Morten Claymar. There's contacts during the game. There's the spectacles off the field of play. Here's Dennis Wise. McCoy away. Not too much loft on it, really. Oh dear, that's tight again. Chelsea still playing it around on a pitch that doesn't really want it. And that was perhaps a wee bit marginal. Rune Langer was picked up by Gregor Spirant, the assistant referee from Poland. He's certainly, I think, offside against Frank Leboeuf, but away out of your picture to the left-hand side, he may well have been played on by Danny Granville. Lovely spin. And the ball pushed forward by Jonny Hansen. Di Matteo. And this time it's Chelsea's turn to be caught. Luca Vialli, with his 5 goals this season, 4 of them came against Barnsley. Leboeuf's ball. Wise's touch. Zola showing alertness. What happened there, Paul? Did he just miscontrol it, or did it take a nasty little bobble as it came through to him?
No, the ball was like he was just trying to help it on, but certainly Tromsø are very organised, aren't they? I mean, they push up when there's pressure on the ball. They're organised, they're functional, and they're working very hard at Chelsea's space. Chelsea clearly technically a better side, but sometimes you've got to modify yourselves to suit the conditions of the pitch, and Tromsø are certainly adapting at this moment in time.
They'll have to go on and win this competition to get back into Europe next season. Tromsø, they went out of the cup this year, beaten by Sogndal in round 3. It was Sogndal who won at the weekend to condemn them to the relegation playoffs. They're managed by Truls Jensen, who was here for many years as an assistant coach. It's adding a bit of insult to injury. There's the icing sugar on the pitch down there. Sven Morten Johansson to Steinar Nilsen. Nice little interchange. Here's Bjorn Johansson. Flicked into the path here of Fermann. Oh no! What a disaster for Ed de Goy! And this is no joke for Chelsea. 18 minutes gone, and they're being frozen out. The big chill in Tromsø. 2-0 to the Norwegian. No hopers according to the bookies. And this is turning out to be one of the greatest upsets in European club history.
Yes, it was a woeful error by De Gouy that originally actually started when Steve Clark, the ball was played into feet to Tromsø player. He actually allowed him to turn, and then he was running at him. There was good interplay there, and really, it's hit there, and it was something that De Gouy, in all fairness, should have dealt with competently. And okay, there probably was a little bit of an ugly bounce there in front of him.
Well,
but it's a terrible start for Chelsea.
Inside 20 minutes and 2-0 down. Zola away to Babayaro. They need to get back into the tie. Corner kick, good strong running by Babayaro. Only Fermann's second goal of the season. He's just come back to Tromsø, as I said, after the period in Belgian football with Cercle. Look at the snow behind the goal. Piled up like a mountain. I reckon they've taken 6.5 tons of snow off this pitch. Should the game have gone ahead? How much did the surface play in Ed de Goui's mistake? Sinclair. Chelsea again, forced on the defensive. Here's Benson. Far post was Årst, the top scorer here this season. He has 9 from the league paltry tally. Mistake by Fermann on this occasion. And then the foul. He was lunging into it. And then a secondary foul. And the captain is cautioned, Morten Kramer. Well, the referee had to do something there, Paul.
Yes, very good decision. It was reckless, it was two-footed. And the referee, no doubt, stamping down his authority.
Both of them stretching. It was a nasty challenge.
But where Chelsea's got to be careful, Jonathan, actually started from Dennis conceding possession there. They're working extremely hard in centre midfield. They're working hard at their space and really stopping Chelsea from enjoying that good possession.
Now Clark. You may hear the local fans shouting AIK. That's the reference. That's like Are You Listening AIK of Tromsø, that they play at the weekend in the relegation playoff. Oh, what a terrible start by Chelsea. Babayaro's foul. Plenty of time, though, to get back into this. Wise. What do you make of the big keeper, Paul? Ed de Gouy?
Yeah, he's had his critics, hasn't he? I mean, at times he's shown that he's been a very, very good keeper. Other times he's made errors. And I'm sure, you know, he's got to raise his game. He's an experienced professional. And his strength of character is very important at this moment in time.
Here's Vialli. Tried the expansive spinning ball. Too high for Babayaro. What a long way to come for the travelling 400 Chelsea fans. Top right of your picture. Sitting next to the multicoloured home hordes in their ski jackets. This the home of cross-country and alpine skiing in the north of Norway. Halfway through the first half. And Chelsea on the downward slope at the moment. Årst header down. Leboeuf makes it his. Now, Jonny Hansen. Årst again, strong running front two. Skips away. Back comes Leboeuf. He's missed that challenge. Header square, not yet away. Drops to Lange. And Årst again. And every loose ball is dropping to either these big juggernauts up front. Ole Morten Årst or Rune Lange. Årst away, off target.
Yes, it was a good pass actually in between Frank Sinclair and Leboeuf. And a good play by Årst. He's made a huge impact in this opening 25 minutes of the game, and they're going to have to watch him, the Chelsea rear guard, with caution.
Well, they could have sold this tie out, the locals, twice over, 3 times over. They could have sold 15,000 tickets. Sold out inside 2 days, and they're loving it. Wise. What a tricky, sticky, mucky, slippy tie for Chelsea tonight. Babayaro. Granville's gone on in the glue pot. Wise. And away by Fermann. Nilsen with the blockbuster drive on 5 minutes. Fermann on 18 minutes. Of 12 first leg away matches, Chelsea have lost 6 in their European history, but they've overturned first leg defeats in 4 of those 6 ties. Very strong at the bridge. Granville. That's the captain. Kramer, bags of confidence. Morten Kramer, 10 years in the first team. Prolific goal scorer in that time from defence. He has the 2 in 10 years of football. Lange this time is pulled up. I think he's pointing to his teeth there. He started the game with a full set, and I think he's got a gap there now, Lange, actually. Whether he's lost a full set, I'm not too sure. But he certainly looked across to his strike partner, Årst. Here's Zola. Di Matteo. Good run by him. Jon Johansson covers. And that rather sums up Chelsea's night so far. Not a night for Roberto Di Matteo, perhaps. Rumble like thunder around the ground as fans stamp on the wooden terracing. That's Johansson. Leboeuf, dangerous ball through. They're playing out of their skins here. They haven't played football like this all season. Granville. That's Steinar Nilsen's clearance to Svein Morten Johansson. Nilsen again. And Clark's underneath this one. Lange just lent into him. Should Chelsea have gone into this game with a 4 at the back, Paul? Should they have gone into this game with a 5 at the back?
Well, we're talking earlier on today, Jonathan, and I was always aware of the threat of the 2 big men up front. And I always felt with possibly 2 markers and Leboeuf as spare, that second ball, which they've been quite dominant in the opening spell of the game, possibly would have been nullified.
They have the men here to have made a 5. Petrescu, Lombard, Myers, all could have fitted in there somewhere. Here's Rune Lange. Hero of the last round. Danger again on the edge of the penalty area. They're getting men forward there, and the Chelsea midfield aren't picking up those runs from deep. It was Fermann again. Zola showing too much of it, perhaps. Babayaro. Now Christensen. Offside. It's a skill game to play.
Very close, that, Jonathan. Actually pushed up. There was no pressure on the ball, and I'd probably say there was a yard or 2 in it. But what Chelsea, they've conceded possession too cheaply in the centre of midfield, and I think that's the area where Tromsø, at this point in the game, have looked very, very confident and influential.
The long nights have begun in northern Norway. And what a way to celebrate the coming of the Northern Lights, which they do here, the long Northern Nights, because they love the skiing and the snow, with a win over high-class English opposition. And of course, they know all about English opposition here because they watch the game every single week. They love English football. Vialli, poor ball. It's Årst. Lange's out there. Årst pushing on forward. Benson arriving on the edge of the penalty area. He was the target. Now Bjorn Johansson. Leboeuf away. And your mind goes back to games like the cup tie-up at Leicester last season when Chelsea fell apart under an aerial bombardment in the second half. Wimbledon at home when they were uncomfortable. And they now look for Zola. Kicked inside by Svein Morten Johansson and away again. A stumble by Granville. Årst. Kramer, the captain. In comes that diagonal ball. They play from wide on the touchline. No one was on the end of that one. Årst allowed to come and gather. Chelsea don't mind him sticking back in there, in the middle third. Wise might have been obscured by the referee. Bjorn Johansson. Christensen's cross. Langner almost on the end of it. Now Babayaro. And Dennis Wise. A dreadful pitch. You wouldn't play park football on this in England, I'm sure. Wise. Vialli's made the run, he's offside. Wise had to check. Di Matteo. Zola's waiting in the middle. So too Steinar Nilsen. And that could be a mistake by the captain. I don't know what he thought he was doing there. He was being too cutesy, Paul, I think, the captain.
Yes, very casual. But at least Chelsea progressive now, trying to work the ball, get it wide and try and get in behind the Tromsø rearguard and make something happen.
So, in the land of the Troll, Dennis Wise will take the corner kick. Vialli's pulled away to the far post. Bramble arrives. That's sound and confident goalkeeping. And this is a man who regularly flaps it across, but not on that occasion.
Now he's giving his defence a lot of confidence. Very dominant, very confident.
Eddie Newton. All mistakers again. The two combined and clashed. Offside against Zola. It was Jonny Hansen and the captain, Kramer, who banged into each other and nearly let little Zola away. Under a quarter of an hour to go in the first half. Chelsea didn't foresee a 2-0 deficit. I don't think anyone did. Babayaro, Granville. Conceded 3 away from home in the first round, did Tromsø at Zagreb. 3-0 down after 50 minutes, in fact. Steve Clark for Chelsea has Granville away to the left. Here's Zola. Babayaro back to the little Italian from Sardinia. Hotter climbs than this, that's for sure. Danny Granville. And Zola, pursued by Svein Morten Johansson. Challenge came flying in by Benson. Bjorn Johansson. Clark cut out that ball through the channel. Bjorn Johansson. Well, when Chelsea leave later on tomorrow, this man will be the man they check in with at the airport. At the moment, he'll have a big smile on the face. Sinclair, well played, Franco's own, rather Luca Vialli. This is a steady patch for them, Paul.
Yeah, they've enjoyed periods of good pressure, but there's been no end product.
Clark looks for Zola, up close Jonny Hansen. And Eddie Newton. Leboeuf. European experience with Strasbourg. Was runner-up in the Intertoto Cup of '95. Loves to play out from defence. Vialli was just offside. Luca Vialli has won every European competition there is to be won. One of 4 players to have done that. He's off and running again. He was offside, though Steinar Nilsen was tracking back in the middle. Once a world record £11 million took him to Juventus from Sampdoria. The temperature is dropping. I just wonder if the pitch will get skiddier. Through to Fermann. Score of the second goal, jockeyed well by Frank Sinclair. Oh, a bit cash at the end of it though, Paul, wasn't he? Just turned his back on it. Di Matteo away. Hansen was up well. Kramer, Christensen. Do you think they'll do that now from range wherever they are? Perhaps they suspect Ed de Goy on a night like this?
Well, they're a very, very confident side, aren't they? They're working extremely hard. Collectively, I think they're stronger in Chelsea. And clearly after the error by De Goy, they're shooting from range at every opportunity.
Nice flick off by Årst. Svein Morten Johansen. Offside against Benson, and again it was close.
I thought that was very close indeed, Jonathan. At the point where the ball was played, Leboeuf was actually, I thought, playing Tromsø onside.
Caballero's around the back. First time in, looking for Vialli. Maybe pushed his man, did he? He did. Yeah. The referee close up with the play. And Luca Vialli, nothing going right for him at the moment.
Yeah, that was a ball that was whipped in. Yeah, and there's a nudge there. But to his credit, Vialli, he's not had a run of the ball. But he's working extremely hard.
We're 750 miles north of Oslo. 210 miles inside the Arctic Circle. It's a chilly night, and Chelsea are behind. Årst. Jon Johansen to Svein Morten Johansen. On by Bjorn Johansen, looks for Robin Brent Berntsen on the right. Sales representative with a local food company. And Danny Granville pushes it away.
That's the area. In fact, when that ball was originally played in, I saw Graham Ricks jump off the bench here, Jonathan, because he's saying, get tight. The lad was allowed to get the ball turned and actually go at Chelsea, which really, in that part of the field, they've got to get tight and allow the player to play the ball square or backwards.
A free kick now. There's Babayaro wearing that thermal gear underneath his Chelsea yellow, backs away. Danger from Svein Morten Johansen. Corner kick only. Off Steve Clark. They're certainly more direct than Chelsea are on a surface like this, Paul.
Well, they're playing to their strengths, aren't they? They haven't got the technique Chelsea has got, but they're very direct, playing it from long to front. They've got the big men there, competing and helping things on in the last third of the field, and clearly playing to the right conditions as well.
Hit Steve Clark, that really. Their first corner of the night. It's not cleared away. And it was from a situation like that they got the winner in the last round. That's better, Chelsea. Now Vialli. Zola with a scissors movement. Wise is arriving. Any minute now. At the top of your picture, here he is. Vialli's made the forward run. He's onside. Zola is square. The pullback called for. And he just slithers through that slippery mess and got it away to Andre Glenison. Chelsea's best chance so far.
Yeah, it's the most productive move going forward. It was Vialli that started the move, and it was a super cutback. And the keeper, Grenison, just forces the ball out, and unfortunately there was additional support getting forward in the box.
It's away by Leboeuf. How much have they missed Dan Petrescu wide on the right-hand side, Chelsea, resting him to the bench?
I think they do, because also when you get in those wide positions, Jonathan, you need that quality to get the ball into the box, and Di Matteo has worked extremely hard, but I don't think he's a natural wide ride type of player. He likes to play more central in midfield.
This time the decision goes Frank Leboeuf's way against Ole Morten Årst. Another student. Scored in both legs against Zagreb. Actually, 2-1 down here as well. With just 15 minutes to go. They won the game 4-2. They're very hard-working and they're very tenacious, our Tromsø. And there's the coach, Håkan Sundberg. He says he'll be staying here even if they do get relegated after the two-leg playoff. Bjorn Johansson. Benson again. Well, well in the last 10 minutes on this right. The Hoy comes and gathers. Covers up well this time in defence, Benson. Would have meant a lot more money if they'd have taken Chelsea and Frank Sinclair down to Oslo this week. They'd have had a 25,000 capacity crowd down there. But it is cup final weekend and they chose to play it up here anyway. Clark to Granville. Zola wearing the gloves against the cold. It's now around about -3, -4. Vialli's offside. Luca Vialli, used to playing early on in his career, what, 70s, 80s, 95% humidity. In Genoa in particular, at Sampa, very humid place, and they come up here, -4, -5. It's a culture shock. It's a shock, all right. How do you play, Paul, against big strikers like this if you're not as tall as them? Do you jump early? Do you get in up underneath them?
Well, what you really got to do from Chelsea's point of view is play slightly one in front and one behind, because at times the ball's sitting up there and you've really just got to get as close as you can and just keep your eye on the ball. But what I'd like to see when they're playing those free kicks, I'd like to see maybe the holding man Eddie Newton just sitting in front. There's a bit of a shield, a bit of a protective barrier there, Jonathan, and that gives the central defender time to drop up a few yards and go and attack the ball.
Frank Leboeuf, who will probably be the first to admit that the aerial game is not his strength. What a wonderful player he is on the deck. Svein Morten Johansson. There is Eddie Newton spilling it on. Oh, unlucky. Showing the hunger, though, we've come to expect from Luca Vialli. He's pointing down at that red line. The line's red tonight. He thought it was still in play. I saw the groundsman about an hour before kickoff coming out. There's the red ball on the red line. It's actually sort of a powder he put down and then got a spray out and sprayed the powder in place. That's why he's not too happy with the performance of Lange. It really was little and large. He did definitely make contact, I think. And Lange's okay. 4 goals this season, Lange, in league football. This time they look for his strike partner, Årst. Di Matteo to Wise. And Sinclair. They could move Sinclair into a centre-half position in the second half. He does have a very, very good leap on him. He leaps like a salmon. Bjorn Johansson. Christensen. Danger again here. Fermann is through. And the drive was wretched by Lange.
That was a gilt-edged opportunity, wasn't it? I think Granville put his hands up trying to play offside, and the amount of space he got there, I mean, he's just been helped on there. And really, the Chelsea rear guard have been ball watching there, Jonathan, to be quite honest with you. He's got a lot of space there.
Lapland's not far away across the border. Santa Claus lives there. And the presents are coming a wee bit early here for Chelsea's liking. Wise. Down by Zola. Looks for Vialli. And I wonder if the frustrations are now beginning to simmer up. There's Jonny Hansen in there. Actually seemed to grab him around the face there, and that was a reluctant peace treaty. He thinks his eye was gouged. Now Zola. Kramer slipped quickly to his feet. Di Matteo. And the captain atoned for his slip. Fermann. And it's a Chelsea throw-in. Into the last half a minute of the first half. Årst to Fermann. Through to Fermann, takes on Frank Sinclair. Well in, Frank Leboeuf, read it well. Wise. Chelsea is scampering and covering the ground with short passing movements, and Tromsø is so much more direct. And Leboeuf has checked his man. Ollie Morton asked, did he? No. The referee says the Norwegian went to deck after an innocent collision. It's a fairly, well, ugly touch on it, I should say, from Steinar Nilsen to the end of the first half, which started so magnificently for him with a superb drive after 5 minutes that put Tromsø 1-0 up. And on 18 minutes it got even worse for Ed de Hoy and Chelsea, as Frode Fermann rattled in the second. It slithered under Ed de Hoy on a nightmarishly treacherous pitch in northern Norway, and Chelsea go in at half-time 2-0 down.
Yes, and I'm sure Ruud Gullit will have to work very hard at his team talk, because clearly after a disastrous start, I spoke about the first 20 minutes at the top, Jonathan have conceded 2 goals and they've got a lot of work to do, and let's hope they can get back into the game very quickly.
They don't look very happy, they're not confident about the pitch. They need to get over that mentally for the second half, because it's Tromsø 2, Chelsea 0.
To the Tromsø's Alfheim ground, Chelsea trailing by 2-0. The second half about to get underway. Your commentators Paul Elliott and Jonathan Pearce.
And it will be Tromsø who get us off and underway in this second half in those red and white striped shirts with the darker red yokes and white shorts. Chelsea all in yellow, and Mark Hughes, wearing 10, is on the field of play. An important half-time substitution for Danny Granville, which will mean that Chelsea will push Babayaro back to a back 4, I would imagine, and Zola just behind Hughes and Vialli up front. The pitch covered in snow. It has been thick and furious at half-time, and the ground staff was out scratching away so that we could see the lines. And immediately Tromsø go for the spectacular with Steinar Nilsen, who scored the opening goal, and trying to get Tromsø's third of the night beyond the form of Ed de Hoy, who you can just pick out there in the gathering gloom. The referee must at all times be able to see his 2 assistants, and we just wondered when we started the night whether we would finish it. Here's Hughes, back to Wise in midfield. It's away then by Sven Morten Johansen. Underneath that one is Frank Leboeuf. And here's the captain Kramer, chipping forward, seeks Lange. Ed de Hoy comes out of the snow and finds Frank Sinclair. They used brushes at half-time, and indeed an industrial hoover in one area to clear the lines, and Mark Hughes already making his presence felt. Well, Paul, he came on last season against Liverpool in the Cup and turned the entire tie around.
Yes, he's done. He's an extremely talented man, and in actual fact, Jonathan, we were discussing when I felt you could have probably done with Mark Hughes from the start. His ability to hold up the ball, his strength, his competitive nature certainly would have unsettled the 2 centre-backs. But it's important that Chelsea focus and concentrate and don't concede early. You know, they're still in the tie as far as I'm concerned. They can get one early, and all of a sudden that does change the game.
Kramer's free kick. Clark's underneath it. And so too was Rune Lange and Årst, the 2 target men. Lange was the man judged to have fouled. Well, at least we can see that. Rue Christensen. Årst looks for Lange. There's Bjorn Johansson, Christensen, Eddie Newton. The players wore long studs before the game. They couldn't trust moulded rubbers or indeed trainers because of the treacherous surface. I wonder if many of them would have changed at half-time. What do you reckon, Paul?
It's a good point, Jonathan. I just wonder as the game goes on, it's clearly -3, -4. Is it going to get much harder underneath? And obviously with studs, you're going to have clearly problems controlling your balance.
Well, I can't ever remember Chelsea Football Club having to play a European tie in conditions like this. When they won this particular competition, they had to wait 24 hours because of fog in Athens before they were allowed to go on and win it in 1971. I seem to remember, was that the final or was that earlier on in the competition? I remember one of their games was off because of fog, but nothing like this. That's Rue Christensen and Bjorn Johansson. And if it's difficult for us to see the players, it must be nigh on impossible for the fans out there. Because what you're seeing with the benefit of high-tech TV technology. Mark Hughes. Celestine Babayaro with the throw. Chelsea must put all this out of their minds. Looks for Hughes. Again, can't keep his feet. Sinclair back to De Hoy, and they are starting to slide now. And the Polish referee will be keeping a close eye on this. Clark forward. Svein, or rather it was Jonny Hansen who got it away. And the chase now between Babayaro out there and Benson. Zola drops deep. Steve Clark. I don't know whether it was Mark Hughes they needed at half-time or Torvin and Dean. There's Bjorn Johansson. Strong run into the path here through to Fermann. Sinclair got back. Another mistake by the goalkeeper under pressure. LeBoeuf stabs it out. Di Matteo behind Dennis Wise. Should they bring on Tor Andre Flo and just lump it and hump it? Di Matteo gave away the free kick against Olli Morten Årst. Just got across his knee and dragged, well, almost lent into the challenge as he went down. It's a blizzard. Steinar Nilsen, who got the first goal. And Ed De Hoy got down to it. It's funny, actually on the way over here yesterday, Paul, you were saying for a big man, he does get down to the ball well. He flaps at crosses.
Yes.
Until tonight when he was beaten by that second.
Yeah. And let's hope he can get that out of his head. But what was interesting, the fact that when that was drilled in that last effort, you notice the two frontmen, Spen and Join, from straight away trying to anticipate if he does make an error, they're right on top of it.
Well, the visibility just marginally improving over the last minute. If the referee can't see the goals, he can't see his linesmen, his assistant referees, he would certainly think about abandoning this. And Chelsea have asked him really to make sure if he takes the players off, not to make a hasty decision, because they are so desperately keen to get this game played. They don't want to wait around and play it again tomorrow. On the other hand, 2-0 down. Here's Zola. Gets away from Rue Christensen. And Wise as Hughes outside him. Di Matteo will find him now via the deflection. Mark Hughes. Now Årst looks for Lange. Well, this could be curtains. Langer beyond Ed de Hoy from a narrow angle. And just crept out wide. Runde Langer.
That was super play. It was a glorious ball in, and I felt, Jonathan, when I saw De Goey going there, I thought, my dear, what's going to happen there? And what a ball whipped in. That's a super ball. Neither Chelsea player got a touch.
Well, the referee thinks that one of them did, and Rune Langer has forced a corner kick. It's their second of the night, and it'll be Rue Christensen. De Hoy punches. Another corner kick. Steve Clark, salt and pepper hair colouring in there now with the snow. De Hoy comes a long way. Zola's on the end of that but won't keep it in play. Eddie Newton trying to clear his lines. He could always just, the referee, bring things to a temporary halt to clear the lines again. You cannot see the edge of the penalty area now. Well, this is farce. Leboeuf away. You cannot see the penalty area. Look at that. You can't see the dead ball line. And Ruud Gullit down on the Chelsea bench is asking the fourth official to clear the lines so that Chelsea can see things more clearly. Ruud Gullit talking to Miroslav Trečka from Poland. It should be away by Di Matteo and is. Now Zola. Zola being pursued. Like a pack of huskies, they're after him. And the snowbound wastes of northern Norway. Has he ever seen anything like this? I very, very much doubt it. This is pure farce now. The tie will not hinge on tonight, but Chelsea could be in a devastatingly poor position at the end of it if it goes on like this. Clark to Leboeuf. Drills out wide, lovely ball, the best of the night. Can Sinclair keep it in and cross? And does well. Vialli turns. Just has not been his night, Gianluca Vialli. That's the best ball of the night, though. Now Fermann. And Leboeuf simply happy to squeeze it out anywhere. Babayara, who's looked uncomfortable. Sven Morten Johansson. Bjorn Johansson. They knew he was going to be a tricky customer, and he looks to have good balance, actually, Bjorn Johansson.
He's been very good, in fact. Has really influenced the game and has been a constant threat in Chelsea's thorn.
Meanwhile, on that Chelsea bench, Ruud Gullit is fuming. And you can understand it because, well, the halfway line's gone. It's there, with the referee standing on the halfway line. Fermann's low ball in, and Ed de Hoy comes and gathers. You can just about make out the D there. That's the fourth official, Miroslav Trečka. He's calling the referee eventually across to him now. The ball is out of play. And I wonder if a message has gone down there from Jürgen Wehl now, the UEFA delegate from Hamburg. Ruud Gullit is asking him at least to clear the lines. Well, we're used to the sweeper system in Europe, and that's putting a different slant on it.
The reason why, I wonder why he's taking so long to do it, because for the last 10 minutes, Gullit's been remonstrating with the official.
I don't think you can leave players on in this cold now,
no,
Paul.
They've got to come. I mean, Jonathan, what is it, -5 now as we're talking?
Should the game have started? They were under pressure to play it tonight. They knew it had to be played either tonight or tomorrow. Should it have started, Paul?
I think not. And also, as I'm looking at the referee, Jonathan, he looks very, very positive, the referee. He clearly wants to play the game and finish it.
Well, there's a whole army of ground staff on the field of play. It's a night for fur hats and a night for perplexed looks. And a night of joy so far for the Tromsø bench, who want it finished, of course. Look at the snow. Well, get your camera out, Paul, take a couple of snapshots. We'll sell them as Chelsea Football Club Christmas cards and make a fortune. I wonder if the chairman's had that idea and already done it on the far side. Dennis Wise. You get lost in a minute. It's coming in now with wind, and we haven't had wind here all day. And the chill factor last night took it down to a flesh-numbing -8 degrees. He stopped his watch, we've stopped our watches at 56 minutes into the game. The stadium watch is still ticking over. The reason we know that is because we're in the official timekeeper's hut. And we're off and underway again. For how long? Away by the captain of Tromsø, leading 2-0. Morten Kramer. Rune Lange. It's sold short. Here he is again. Lange, and that could have finished the tie. They've had chances, really, to go into an unassailable lead.
Without a doubt. I mean, territorially, they've had the greater advantages. And what they actually do well, Jonathan, when Chelsea tried to play it from midfield, they push right up on top of them and they're nicking it. Those short little balls that Chelsea are playing into midfield, Christensen and Johansson, they really get close to them. And that really leaves them 20 yards from goal. And you just can't afford to make those errors in the last third of the field.
Here's Dennis Wise now for Chelsea. Was fouled by Fermann. I mean, be honest, all of you out there, if you were playing for your school or your club or your pub or your Sunday team, if it came down like this, especially Sunday mornings, it'd be off and back to the rubber dub, wouldn't it? Here's a free kick for Chelsea, though. Go on, little Franco Zola. From way out. He'll leave it for LeBeuf. He struck it well, but wide. A night for gloves as well, Frank LeBeuf. Didn't strike a bad ball there, Paul.
No, he hit it well.
Really, it's the only effort I can remember from Chelsea on the goal, in the whole game.
Well, to be fair, they don't even hit the target, have they?
Away by Rua Christensen. Bjorn Johansson was checked by Babayaro. No free kick given. And this, they say here, is not bad weather. The bad weather arrives on Saturday, they tell us. And the real snow arrives in November. Fancy weekend break in Tromsø. Well, mind you, having said that, we'll probably still be here on Sunday trying to finish the game.
I won't be, Jonathan. I don't know about you.
LeBeuf goes with him. You've got to feel for the players on a night like this. Here's Celestine Babayaro to Eddie Newton. Again, Chelsea pushing and prompting, and again caught by Fermann. Challenged by Eddie Newton was unfair. Oh dear. And now Dennis Wise has been pushed to the ground by Bjorn Johansson. And the referee will call both of them together. This was the foul. Eddie Newton in hard on Rua Christensen.
Dennis has gone in late, Jonathan, but really, as the point I said before, that originally come from that little short pass into midfield. I just feel Chelsea are not adapting themselves to the conditions. How on earth they're still trying to play those short little passes through midfield, and you know, Tromsø, they're just squeezing right up on top of them and being competitive and aggressive and winning the ball and just breaking forward. And it's clearly been a constant problem to Chelsea throughout this match.
They're in 22 with his back towards us is Jonny Hansen. It's going to be Steinar Nilsen to float it forward. The penalty box lines again being obscured. Good turn here by Mark Hughes. Zola. Chelsea look to have better balance in the second half at least. Matteo. Newton to Babayaro. Hughes is on the end of that. Steinar Nilsen away. He will have impressed the watching Milanese camp. That's a lovely flick off by Lange. Away towards Robin Benson. And Olimot Årst surely won't go for a goal from all the way out there. Frank Leboeuf didn't win it when well positioned. Årst has kept his feet well. Rua Christensen. And now that's a free kick given away by Babayaro. Clark thinks it was unintentional.
That's very good play by the big man, doesn't he? Wriggles his way through then, a square ball. And Christensen comes onto it, runs with it well, and it's a great effort. And what Chelsea got to do is to get out and get a blocker out and close him down. You can't afford for him to hit it from 20 yards.
Well, the goalkeeper atoning for his earlier error, perhaps. This free kick is around about an average snowball size outside the penalty box. You'll have to believe me. So do Chelsea hope for a whiteout tonight, an abandonment, and come back tomorrow and start all over again at 0-0. Shot hit the wall from Nilsen. We know how hard he can hit them. It's settling so quickly. Where's old Amundsen when you need him? Here's Vialli. Leboeuf sprays it out wide to Frank Sinclair. Just over the hour gone. Zola. Mark Hughes took a tumble off the ball, and Vialli has barged into Steinar Nilsen. That was all off the ball, and Mark Hughes was tumbled then as he went through the middle. There was definite contact made. That's offside against Lange. There's activity also down on the Tromsø bench. Thomas Hofstad down there, who is waiting to come on now. And a substitution will be made as soon as they can attract the referee's notice. And the man who will go off is Bjorn Johansson, who's clearly feeling the effects of that challenge a few moments ago. Johansson off and Hofstad on. Leboeuf. Mark Hughes comes from a way off it. Now Sinclair, it bounced against his arm. The locals want a free kick. Leboeuf away. Vialli. Mark Hughes. That's better, Chelsea. Di Matteo. Here's Hughes. Holding on to it. Holding his feet, even though others were slithering. Clark away. Zola. Paul, have you ever seen anything like this? We'll come to you in a couple of seconds, because that's Jonny Hansen and Babayaro's underneath it. Only 18. He certainly won't have seen anything like this, I wouldn't imagine. They don't often get snow in Nigeria, and his years in European football have not been long. Celestine Babayaro, though he went to Belgium as a 15-year-old, he's only 18 now. Clark will get it away. Have you ever seen anything like this, Paul?
I certainly haven't. I spent a couple of my years in Scotland playing with Celtic, and it was a wonderful 2 years, but even there it's so cold at various times. But this is just absolute treacherous conditions. Wise
forward. Same for both sides, though. And Tromsø have certainly adapted the better. Not even the most ardent Chelsea fan could argue with that. That's good control, you see, by Lange. And you think he's 6'3". Away by Clark. Leboeuf. Snow swirling around. Riddle it once the lines. Brushed again. Kramer with the throw-in. What for Kramer? Over 280 games for this club. Very experienced. Free kick given against Sinclair. I think. For a push in the back. It's only a throw-in, in fact. I thought it might have been given for a push in the back on Langer. Kramer. Wise was in there, still hungry and competitive and tenacious. Dennis Wise to Zola. Perhaps now it's a time for the players with a low centre of balance. To Di Matteo, cues a straight offside. Di Matteo into the path of Zola. Zola goes for goal! And just wide.
That was wonderful individual skill, wasn't it? The move was started by Zola, and very, very unfortunate. A lovely ball laid in the path and teed up nicely for Zola. And it just goes wide, but it's a good Chelsea move, and I'm sure they can take confidence from that.
Gianfranco Zola looking for his third goal of the season for Chelsea, has the two, and another substitution to be made by Tromsø. Off goes Bro de Fermann, scorer of the second goal. On comes Ulrich Barling. Barling, who's taken the field of play, is a midfielder in his first season at the club. Came on Sunday in the 4-0 defeat at Lund of Oslo, which condemned them to the playoffs, and that defeat was watched by a staggering crowd of 911, let me tell you. He's worked hard up front. The two of them have, haven't they, Årst and Langer?
They've played very, very well. Their strength, their height has caused a lot of problems.
Now it's Roa Christensen. Ooh, it wasn't far wide. And again, the big Ed de Hoy was just troubled by the surface. Christensen wide. They've had 10 attempts on goal. The referee is coming across towards the near touchline to have a word with the UEFA official again. The fourth official, I should say. That's Jacek Granat, the referee, and he's stopping the watch again, I think, to get the touchline swept. Or is he? He signalled to the ground staff. They've made a signal to the ground staff to get the touchlines brushed. And they're very slow to do this at the moment, down on this near touchline. In fact, Ed de Hoy peering out into the snow. The ground staff themselves have reacted the quickest. And certainly they realised what was going on before the referee.
He's a very stubborn old referee, Jonathan, isn't he?
Dennis Wise has a wry smile on his face. What do Chelsea want, Paul? Do they want this game abandoned now and come back tomorrow and play it again?
Well, what's the condition going to be like tomorrow, Jonathan? As far as I'm concerned, it isn't going to get any much better. And as we approach the end of the week, it's only going to get more colder.
If it isn't played tomorrow, by the way, or finished tonight or tomorrow, whichever way you look at it, then it goes back to UEFA headquarters for a decision to be made. Chelsea have to go to Bolton on Sunday, and the relegation playoff match has to be played here on Sunday. The next option would be that the original second leg, Chelsea's home tie, becomes the first leg, and then Chelsea come back out to Norway a couple of weeks or even a month later, when the next round of European matches are taking place, the next round of the UEFA Cup and Champions League matches. It could be even early December, and that match would then be played at Oslo. And there's Nanook of the North.
I just think now the players, Jonathan, it's just a bit of a mental thing now. They've got to show to continue that right attitude, apply themselves and keep competing, and hope they can just get a goal back. As far as I'm concerned, that will change the course of the game.
I think the worst conditions Chelsea Football Club have ever had to endure. Up goes Newton to flick it off. Now Hughes. Bustling. Jonny Hansen. Away towards Barling. The fresh pair of legs, the substitute. Good tackle, Frank Sinclair. Shirt being tugged all over the shot ref. It's a problem, actually, also for Chelsea, who would normally play in yellow up at Bolton on Sunday. What happens with the kit if they have to play here? I know that's troubled their the kit staff down there. Eddie Newton's challenge. They're not in any hurry to take this. Big Olli Årst just trotting away out of your picture to the left-hand side. Kramer will take the free kick now. Set it up on a little snowman. Lange chases. Clark's gone with him and he got the header in. He was always giving Steve Clark problems there from the moment he took off, and Steve Clark slithered on the turn in the snow.
Yes, a long diagonal ball right into the heart of Chelsea's defence, and unfortunately there wasn't no advanced player from Tromsø that was going to get it forward and get beyond him in the box, because it comes right across and De Goey holds on to it well.
Ed De Goey, what a night for goalkeepers. Babayaro. There's Vialli. Di Matteo. Zola waiting in the middle. Nothing has gone right for Luca Vialli all night.
To his credit though, Jonathan, I think he's been very industrious in his work for the team now.
Eddie Newton's under that. It's just turned in the air. Langer's worked so hard. Free kick by Lavelle. Zola's in the end of it. Zola still carrying. Lemmy Hansen's gone with him. There's the snowplough turn. Corner kick.
Sensational bit of skill from Zola, wasn't it? That low sense of gravity will always favour somebody like him with his quick feet and ability to work the ball under pressure.
Hughes waits in the middle. Vialli's round the back. Oh, disappointing corner. "20 minutes to go after the two stoppages, and the official UEFA line on this match is they will keep it going as long as possible, even if it takes more breaks to scratch away and clear the lines. They'll keep this going." And barling away now for Tromsø. In towards Lange, looks for Årst. Babayaro gets back at him. And eventually Clark away. Rune Christensen looks for Årst again and fouls Babayaro. Really, I wonder how much Chelsea's insistence on this game being played tonight has played a part in this, ironically, because they definitely said to the referee, don't make hasty decisions. Yeah, you can just see the challenge there by Årst on Celestine Babayaro. Here's Clark. Away by Steinar Nilsen. Årst. Dennis Wise. Beyond Barling, now Vialli. A night for moon boots, not football boots. That's well weighted by Eddie Newton. Wise. Well, when he's had to do something, so Andre Grennesen has foiled that man's side. Good Hullitz. Again, the man he's talking to there is Jürgen Werner, the UEFA delegate from Hamburg, who's down talking with both sets of officials now, because Håkan Sandberg, the Tromsø manager, has joined in as well. Zola for Chelsea. Vialli's away to his right-hand side. Hughes was offside. Had to look out right for Vialli. Nothing came of it again. Lange chases. And De Goey got there.
That's well played by Lange. He's worked extremely hard, hasn't he, Jonathan? I mean, that ball into the channel, over the fullback shoulder, and he forces De Goey off his line.
That's a Good burst by Hofstedt to the edge of the penalty area. Trouble is, you don't know what's underneath the snow as a player out there. Is it sand in one patch? Is it muck and mud in another patch? Or is it rock hard? Leboeuf away. They'll drive it back in for Langer. De Goey comes! And he has had a nightmarish evening. The big Chelsea goalkeeper. And you have to feel for him on a night like this.
Yes, that's a super ball whipped in, isn't it? And really, the goalkeeper has got to be authoritative there. He's got to come and get it. And clearly, Langer has really imposed himself this evening.
Ooh, that was a stretching challenge, and Babayaro is down. And these are anxious moments for Chelsea. Has the left side jinxed it again. Poyet out for the rest of the season. Graham Rousseau out for certainly the next few weeks. And Babayaro stretching into that, felt the full force. It has been a miserable night for Chelsea and all associated with the club so far. And yet they're still in there with a quarter of an hour to go. In this staccato stop-start snow scene. Steve Clark's free kick. Vialli and Hughes thought about coming for it. It's bounced to Vialli, the backheel to Hughes. Newton. Di Matteo stretched and gets the benefit now. There's Vialli. Vialli was dragged back. Finds Sinclair. Oh, he just let it run away from him. Barling got in. And he's fed again, Barling. From Brewer Christensen. And Barling goes, and Clark stops him. Good challenge. Leboeuf long, Hughes offside. Mark Hughes hasn't had the chance to make any impact since coming on.
No, he's worked hard, and maybe at this stage of the game, Jonathan, they've still got flow on the bench. I'm always an advocate of playing a player when he plays against his old side, and he's a tall lad, big strapping 6-footer, and maybe he might come on, might encourage Chelsea to play a bit more direct. Because clearly the route trying to work the ball through midfield, why Zola has been influential at times during the second half, I don't think it's really been as productive as they first thought.
Right, Leboeuf certainly felt the full force of that challenge. It must be absolutely brass monkeys down there because this wind is numbing. Wise to Vialli. That's where the snow is at its thickest. With the poise and grace of a ballet dancer out there on ice. Wise's cross. Zola just dropped off Steiner Nilsen. Good tackle. Robin Benson. Steiner Nilsen comes away with it. Newton with a drive! Or was it Babayaro? It was Celestine Babayaro's drive. Difficult to see in the snow. And it took a deflection. 14 minutes to go. And Chelsea have their fifth corner of the game. Still, they've yet really to have an effort on target, but this is the time for that precious away goal. Dennis Wise. Hughes on the near post. Vialli in there as well. That's loose. Oh, and did that hit a hand? That certainly seemed to hit a hand. It may have been Hofstedt's hand. Leboeuf. Snow is just easing a wee bit, perhaps. Di Matteo. Kramer away. Here's Årst. That's Langer. Here's Frank Leboeuf now. Ball simply not rolling cleanly for him. Hughes pushed his man. Don't forget the clock you're seeing on your screen won't be the official time kept by the referee. Jacek Granat, because of the stoppages to sweep the touchlines. The Granat set jaw, the determined Hansen. Årst was the header down and hapless Ed de Goy away. Årst. Good challenge, Eddie Newton, as he sets something up here. Vialli, Zola to his left-hand side. Franco Zola looking for someone to arrive outside him. No one's there. Zola into Vialli. And Steinar Nilsen has showed some class. Well, no wonder the Milanese are looking at him, Paul.
Yeah, he's a good player, but I thought also, Jonathan, that was a poor decision by the referee, because he clearly came away with the ball and was probably, you know, moving forward into an advanced possession, and the referees actually stopped the play and awarded the free kick when it was a clear advantage.
She wouldn't have minded a move to England before Milan came in to follow his brother. Røra Christensen. Barling. Sinclair away, and Jonny Hansen strides out. Leboeuf, it's more direct now for Chelsea. Celestine Babillard, 11 minutes to go. They've done well, actually, to keep it down to 2. It's a throw in on the far side. And there's action down on the Chelsea bench, and Frank Leboeuf has been uncomfortable with a shoulder injury for a while. Årst with the effort. I wonder if it'll be Frank Leboeuf who goes off, Paul.
I think so. I mean, he was just raising his hands up at the bench. I don't know if it was a hamstring or a shoulder there, Jonathan. I think he's signalling to hold it there.
Ooh, dear, oh dear, he was lucky, Celestine Babillard. Ed de Goy will clear it away for Chelsea. Babillard slipped but managed to recover his senses. Hughes again pulled up by the Polish referee. I wonder if Mark Hughes and Luca Vialli and Franco Zola to André Flo have benefited from being in and out of the side. There's Frank Leboeuf. Seems okay at the moment. We'll see more now. Well, he didn't want to go up in the air. Who would? Leaping with Lange and Årst. Wise. Away by Steinar Nilsen. Good footwork by Celestine Babillard. Newton had to stretch, not out for that. Christensen. Zola dropping deep. Di Matteo, Vialli, good ball played to him. Hughes is off to his left. Still Vialli. Went for a 1-2. Vialli through on goal. Gianluca Vialli! And at long last, Chelsea have something to celebrate. TROMSØ 2, Chelsea 1, and the Iceman cometh, as cool as you like. And Chelsea are back in the tie. And how?
Yes, that's just excellent footwork by Vialli. Worked extremely hard, played a 1-2 actually off the Tromsø defender, and to his credit, he shows great composure. A 1-2 there, he's in on goal, keeps his head, keeps his cool, shows excellent composure, and it's in the low corner.
Luca Vialli scores for Chelsea for the 6th time this season. That could be the most important. Årst is in on goal! Oh no! The 2-goal buffer again, and the Chelsea bench are fuming because they were trying to make a substitution, and Frank Leboeuf was not in the middle, and they are absolutely fuming. Leboeuf had come across to the touchline, Andy Myers was waiting to go on, there was the gap, and Årst went through and scored, and the Chelsea bench is up in arms, and they feel that they have been cheated out of this. Myers is fuming, so too Frank Leboeuf, and the man they are screaming at, Miroslav Tucka, the Polish 4th official. And they've got a real argument there.
Yes, they have, but equally as well, Jonathan, why didn't the referee stop play? He actually allowed play to continue, and clearly there was a gap there. Whilst it was a clinical finish, the referee never stopped play. And clearly there's a breakdown in communication somewhere.
Well, the substitution is eventually made. We saw from the aerial challenge moments ago, Frank Leboeuf was uncomfortable. Andy Myers has come on for him. But Chelsea fuming about that because Leboeuf was out on this near touchline. And Chelsea quite clearly thought that their goal by Luca Vialli was the natural punctuation mark in the game to bring that substitution on. Dennis Wise looks for Vialli. Back there and tussling for it. Vialli this time has conceded a free kick. Grits his teeth. Is that a sneeze? Kramer, the captain, is okay. Just over 5 minutes to go. Come on, Chelsea, get some justice. Vialli, Dennis Wise, good tackle. Oh, and a little bit of bad feeling, just erased by that lovely moment. Sinclair's throw. Kramer got in a muddle. He's had a steady game. Jonny Hansen at the back, very steady. He's a student, he's 24. Andy Myers will win the race. He really has had a night to forget, hasn't he, Ed the boy? That's Vialli, one of the TROMSØ substitutes used. He named 6 substitutes on the bench, 7 allowed. Sinclair. Stena Nilsen, nice touch. Jonny Hansen. 3-1 to Tromsø. Here's Sinclair. Back towards Ed de Hoy. And we're told there's a Norwegian television reporter is giving out on air to Norway at this moment in time the fact that this is the worst conditions he's ever seen in 20 years of covering football in Tromsø. Di Matteo, challenge was hefty by Rua Christensen and by Hughes a wee bit late. And that looked fair to me.
It was a good challenge.
You've got to give referee leeway, I think, on 1 or 2 challenges tonight, though, Paul. It's so difficult to judge. This is a ploughed field of a pitch at best, and add to that 1.5 inches of snow. Flicked in by Årst. They have not looked comfortable when they've thrown it up to Lange or to Årst. Di Matteo, though. And Vialli. Could he given Chelsea that precious lifeline? Perhaps he still has. A 2-goal buffer. Certainly not too much to overturn at the bridge. Barling. They can't afford to give away another one, that's for sure, though, in the last 3 minutes. Andy Myers. Hughes to Vialli. Vialli, lovely touch. And again, Vialli's done brilliantly. Vialli for Chelsea. Oh, that's magnificent. And justice is done. That is magnificent. And Christopher Dean never had anything on Luca Vialli. Give him Jane Torville and he'd win an ice dance Olympic medal. Well done, Luca Vialli. And Chelsea are right back in the tie.
Yes, that's wonderful individual skill. If anybody's got that ability to improvise, to conjure something out of nothing, here Vialli's got 2 men around him, goes past 1, goes past 2, feints, looks up, sees where the goal is, and that's a sensational finish. Clinical, showing great composure, and he's worked his socks off tonight, Vialli, and he's scored 2 terrific goals and restored a bit of credibility back to Chelsea.
Well, that is absolutely precious. 3-2, a 1-goal deficit on a night like this, on a night of surprises and shocks in so many ways, and controversy. Chelsea will be, I think, thankful to get away with that. And Vialli, when the snow came down yesterday when we arrived, some Chelsea fans were saying to us, I wonder how the Italians would be suited to the climate, and I wonder if they'd be up for it. And he certainly proved that he's up for it.
Yes, I mean, his attitude and application has been first class, and even in the first half, Jonathan, when they were chasing the game, he was working hard, closing defenders, you know, trying to hold up play and bring others into the game, and he fully deserves the 2 goals he's got.
Such a quality touch on the edge of the penalty area. Approaching the last minute now. Clark was pushed. They have been a handful, haven't they? Lange and Årst in the air. Babayara. It's away by Svein Morten Johansen. Driven back towards him, Nilsen. Hughes, and Chelsea make it even better now. Di Matteo. Got Zola to the left-hand side, looks for Zola. Nice ball, Zola good control. Rises around the back. Zola. Well, they say it's the land of the midnight sun. Can Chelsea have a little bit of solar brilliance? He's worked hard. Christensen in the midfield. So's Lange and Årst. Lange again. Danger here. Benson. Good tackle, Andy Myers. Good covering on that. Chelsea left. Zola. Scampering. Zola, the little snowmobile. Still Zola. Oh. Well, that would have been the icing on the cake for Chelsea in this brave-hearted performance.
That was excellent covering by Andy Moyes and a good ball forward, but in actual fact, as Zola was taken on 1 or 2 there, Jonathan, Vialli has pulled off at the far post and was holding up his hands. If maybe Zola had looked up, he was clearly unmarked there.
2 away goals for Chelsea. They're losing 3-2, but they've had to play the 11 Norwegians on the field of play, and this is a hard-working and honest, industrious side. They've had to play a treacherous quagmire of a pitch, quagmire in places, barren, rock-hard, frozen in others, and then they've had to play a blizzard. Clark, ooh, well, could have gone absolutely anywhere. TROMSØ think there was a foul on the edge of the penalty area, by the way. Here's Wise. Kramer. He's lumped it out because they have a body down on the edge of the box. Just checking that he's okay. I think it's Lange down there, I think. It is Lange. It's just behind Frank Sinclair now, actually, getting some treatment. Clark, Hughes offside. Ooh, that was a late decision. I'm not too sure if he was on or off. Lange's nose is splattered. Oh, Jay, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yes. In actual fact, I thought the fullback, Johansson, was keeping Hughes onside there.
So, Morten Kramer, in the stoppage time, will clear it away. 5 minutes of stoppage time play, but that's because of the referee's decision to clear the lines. And TROMSØ have a famous win, perhaps the biggest in their history ever. They have beaten mighty Chelsea from the English FA Carling Premiership by 3 goals to 2 on a dreadful night for football. But Luca Vialli has given Chelsea a magnificent opportunity to turn the tie around with 2 superb goals on a night made for snowmen and snowballs and snow machines, but certainly not soccer.
Yes, I mean, in the end, Chelsea have fought their way back into the game. They showed great attitude, great commitment after such a terrible start. Never acclimatised themselves to the conditions. I felt they got it wrong tactically. De Gui, I must be honest and say, it was very, very disappointing. But on paper, they've certainly got a fantastic opportunity. The quality is there, and back at Stamford Bridge in the second leg, there's more than enough in Chelsea's closet to get a very, very positive outcome.
They call this the gateway to the Arctic, and certainly Chelsea have encountered Arctic conditions here tonight. But what a performance up front by Vialli.
Yes, he was sensational, industrious, worked hard, and really, I mean, that's a player of the highest order, Jonathan. You know, when it's going against them and they've got that ability to conjure something out of nothing and show that kind of cool, calculated finishing is a credit to the player himself after his problems at Chelsea. But I mean, he will look very, very fit, and really all evening was such a constant threat in Tromsø's rear guard, and they done very well too after a very, very good start. And I thought the two big men, Årst and Langer and Christensen in midfield, they were their three key players and most productive.
Thanks very much, Paul. Paul Elliott, Chelsea hero, and there's been some heroes out there tonight. You know, the German battleship, the Tirpitz, was sunk very near here in 1944, and for a while we thought that British hopes would be sunk here tonight in the snow. But Chelsea have come back and will start favourites in the second leg, despite losing here in the first by 3-2.
Chelsea should have seen the signs early on when Ed de Hoy was forced to make a save in Tromsø's first attack. 2 minutes later, the Norwegians took the lead. Stein and Nilsen's drive too hot in the icy conditions. Chelsea looked as though they didn't fancy mixing it with their opponents, and they paid the price after 19 minutes when de Hoy failed to get behind Frode Fermann's shot. More than 6 tons of snow had been cleaned off the pitch, but in the half-time break, blizzard conditions prevailed, and Tromsø almost scored a third when Langer broke free, only for his shot to slide across the goal mouth. With 5 minutes to go, Chelsea suddenly grabbed a lifeline. Gianluca Vialli somehow kept his footing and prodded the ball past Grennison. But as Chelsea prepared to make a substitution, the Norwegians struck again through Årst. Tromsø had a 2-goal cushion again. The protests from the Chelsea bench were frozen out. Instead, the players seized the initiative on the field as Vialli scored a second goal deep into injury time, to give the Blues a task that's a little less difficult in the return leg. Mark O'Leary,